And let me ask the city clerk for roll call.
Mayor Weissman,
Here.
Vice Mayor Landman, Commissioner Dr. Bruce,
Here.
Commissioner Mizrahi,
Here.
Commissioner Narodsky,
Here.
Commissioner Shelley,
Here.
Commissioner Weinberg,
Here.
Mr. Wasson,
Here.
and Mr. Wolfen.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Let me ask Taryn Shane if you would please come up here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let me ask the city manager, are there any deletions or emergency additions to our agenda?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. That brings us to special presentations. Let me ask Dr. Marks.
Okay. I'm going to speak from here, and then we'll go down.
Please go down.
Please go down. So first of all, I want to thank Mayor Weissman for allowing me to have a few moments before she does a presentation this evening. And tonight, the mayor will be speaking about a gentleman named Stephen Gurowitz, who is sitting quietly in the back. And I just wanted to say a few words before she presents to him. Everyone probably knows Stephen G. because you can see his trucks throughout the area, the great big black trucks with the white print, and he is delivering furniture and making lots of homes very beautiful and lots of condominiums very beautiful. I know for sure that Stephen actually started his business at his kitchen table. He moved that business from the kitchen table to the garage. And he's currently located in a mega facility in Pompano that is bigger than we can even imagine. His success in design doesn't really equal the success that he has in his kindness and his charity work. And that's what we're going to be speaking about this evening. Stephen is someone who knows what adversity is, who understands that things aren't always wonderful, and as successful as he is today, it doesn't even equal the size of his heart and his giving. Whether it's helping children, buying wheelchairs for them, whether it's outfitting a home for a child who has special needs, whether it's going to the Keys and taking trucks and trucks and getting special permission to go down there when the Keys were devastated, or his current endeavor, which is the Bahamas, and hiring containers and putting them on huge ships and chartering planes. Why? Because someone needed help. And that's really the essence of who Stephen is. This happens to be Breast Cancer Month. So what does Stephen do? He creates t-shirts that show and remind people this is Breast Cancer Month. And why does he do it? And all of his employees have to wear these shirts to work. Why does he do it? Because if even one person sees the shirt and is touched and thinks about helping someone else for breast cancer, then in his mind, he did something good. And so it's with that context that I know the mayor has something that she really would like to share.
You know, I want you all to think back to September and what you might have been doing the first week of September, because I know what I was doing was calling my city manager about every other hour as I watched on the TV Hurricane Dorian grow bigger and bigger and bigger. We got lucky, but some people didn't. And sometimes it's the neediest people that have the worst physical disasters. And every once in a while, it allows somebody the opportunity to do much more than what all of us normally think is giving. And I have to tell you, I don't know Stephen G. well. I've met him a dozen times. I've met him with Dr. Marks. I know he's a great person. You know, those are just sort of words. To happen what occurred, almost the minute he heard about the winds and the storms approaching the Bahamas, he set into motion something I've not seen in Miami, and I've grown up here and lived here my entire life. He gave from the bottom of his heart. Dr. Marks told you what he did. There are people alive today that have a jacket, a t-shirt, a sweater to put on, that have clean water to drink, that have food to eat. What he delivered were pallet upon pallet upon pallet. It's like a sea to save the humanity in Freeport. So, Stephen, God has let you do well, and because you've done well, you do so much good, and it's not directed at any one endeavor. It just seems to help humanity when people are crying out for someone to be a hero. So we have a hero. You're a real hero. I also want to give a big shout out to Gladys Mizrahi, who spent countless hours here sorting our donations, helping with what was delivered. The outpouring from the community was amazing. So I'm going to ask any of the commissioners that want to come down now as I give Stephen this proclamation. Please come down. This turned into an entire community event. So Steve, if you'll come down and stand with Linda.
You guys are a tough act to follow.
You know, people say it takes a village, but the village has to show up. Stephen G. not only shows up, he gets everyone he knows to show up. So, whereas in September 2019, the islands of the Bahamas were devastated by a Cat 5 Hurricane Dorian, and whereas without hesitation and empowered by a mission to provide assistance to our island neighbors, Aventura resident Stephen G. partnered with the City of Aventura and the Aventura Marketing Council Chamber of Commerce to collect donations of desperately needed items at Aventura's Government Center. And whereas Stephen G. provided trucks to transport donations locally, chartered planes to deliver boats to deliver the supplies, worked with the Bahamian Prime Minister and sent escorts to ensure the donations reached the hurricane victims. And whereas the City of Aventura would like to recognize Stephen G. and applaud him for his invaluable efforts in spearheading the coordination of hurricane relief efforts for the Bahamas. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Enid Wiseman, as mayor and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, do hereby proclaim October 2nd, 2019 as Stephen G. Day. If you want to know who a hero is, take a look. And also take a look at the humility and the humbleness. You know, we don't see that very often.
This has been a driving mission, not just for myself, but for people here in the city of Aventura, my entire staff, their families, my partner in Freeport, who just partnered on the experience, who met with the Prime Minister to approve us to be able to give them product, the goods, the water, the clothes, to the people and not to the government, was a job in itself. In 9 days, we filled 6 40-foot containers without an inch to spare. We had the containers in Freeport in 24 hours, unloaded on the ground, fenced off, unloaded, and lines of literally hundreds of children, hundreds of families stood there waiting to be let in and get the essentials that they needed. Believe me, Key West was an experience, but nothing like you have ever seen. I was here, I lived in Miami during Hurricane Andrew. When you went to South Miami, it looked like somebody set off a bomb. When you go to Freeport, there are parts in the islands that are non-existent. There are over 600 people officially missing and cannot be found. They have 72, I think, is the current total of death. So their neighbors, people of South Florida, go there and have gone there fishing for years, vacationing all over the Bahamas for years. These people are truly devastated, and anything that anybody could do is greatly appreciated. The only thing we will not take is checks or cash. We are still collecting. I have a woman from North Carolina driving a truck down this week, loaded with goods. We have yet to say no. We will continue as long as needed. And believe me, people have said, don't send clothing, wrong. Don't send this, wrong. We bought from an Army-Navy store 1,000 cots. They have nothing. There are parts of the island that were unscathed, as crazy as that sounds, for a storm in history that has never lasted in one location as long as this did. But a lot of the Bahamas and a lot of the outer islands are gone. Whether they will be rebuilt, nobody has come to the aid or rescue of the Bahamas. Not the United States government, not the Bahamian government, nobody. If it wasn't for first responders and the U.S. Coast Guard, bodies would still be floating up. They were the ones that went on search and rescue, but nobody else. Thank you, and I'm honored and blessed.
Let's get a picture. Mark, want to get in a picture? I don't know. When did this might not be the best.
Yeah, with this thing in front. Yeah, we all need it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, the next item is our Employee Service Awards, and the city manager is going to take care of that.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to invite Ernie Long from the Aventura Police Department and the anniversary of his 20th year of service as our crime prevention specialist. I was speaking to the chief, and I said, you got to tell me some things about Ernie. And it was very clear as he was talking of you, the respect that he had for you. And that's, normally I would say something, but I felt it would be better for him to say it because he really, he had a lot of great things to say. so I'll let him.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. I just wanted to say briefly, part of what makes our city and community so special are people like Ernie Long. In my career, I have never met anyone so committed to helping people and making their lives better than Ernie. Ernie has touched the lives of so many in our community, whether it's advocating for better living conditions, finding resources to help those victimized by crime, or educating our vulnerable population on how to protect themselves from those who would prey upon them. He never says no to helping anyone, whether it's cooking meals during holidays or dressing up in costumes to entertain our children. He is always there. And let me say, you can always tell the character of somebody when people aren't looking. Today, we had an event at one of our local businesses where we had a meet and greet with the police department, and Ernie was there. And he doesn't know this, but after the meet and greet and his suit and tie, he was walking through the parking lot, moving shopping carts out of the way of vehicles and traffic, just because, so people could get by as a convenience. Even the employees from the shopping center weren't doing that. But he was doing that in the 90-degree heat in what he's wearing now. So it's just amazing. Those are the little things that make him so special to us. I recently attended a ceremony by the Florida Crime Prevention Association where they honored Ernie with their highest award, the Lifetime Achievement Award in Crime Prevention. I recommended to the association that they retire the award after giving it to Ernie because there's no one else who could possibly live up to what he does. So we'll see if they give it out again this year. Ernie, we are proud of you making our city better and leading such a meaningful life. Thank you. You're an honor and inspiration to us all.
Linda, come on. You know, behind every successful man, there's a fabulous woman. I've known both Linda and Ernie for longer than I'd like to think. Thank you for letting us borrow Ernie. Okay, thank you for letting him make the hot dogs and move the carts and do everything. I've never known him to say no, not once. So please, Chief, come in the picture. Let's get a picture. Thank you. Thank you both. The next item is the report of Aventura City of Excellence School update by Principal Tracala.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. ACES has been doing great. Today is every first Wednesday we do our character lesson for the month, and then we follow that up on the third Wednesday. So the first Wednesday of the first character trait we did respect, and then today we did cooperation, and the students will continue with that theme throughout the month and will receive explicit lessons twice. We hosted a parenting workshop today as well, and we do these throughout the year with parent input on what they want to learn about. So today we talked about building and maintaining relationships with your students, and then we had over 70 parents attend that one. We're also working on a math night. We've heard from many parents that they would love a lot more help on how to help their students with homework, understanding why we use the curriculum that we use, and then how we use it within the school so they're better understanding of that. So we're going to hold a math night, and then we're working with IT, who's been amazing in every way supporting the school, Karen Lenke and Annette Gonzalez, but they're helping us reform the website to create a parent corner where they can go directly to get that information and those resources. Speaking of help from the city, I met with Joe Kroll and Alan Levine recently. We did a walk around the school just to double check everything, and like I said, they're committed to doing everything they can to help the school. And again, we're fortunate to have that from the commission and from every department of the city. We've been evaluating our data from last year's test scores, merging that with our data from this year's diagnostic testing, and then obviously what teachers are seeing in the classroom. And we've been able to develop the sets of students who receive their interventions throughout the year, and that started this week where they're being pulled out and pushed in support throughout the day. Our Peace Day ceremony went very well last week, and we also were able to induct our National Junior Honor Society in that event. In the Peace Day ceremony, we focused on the environment as well as focusing on our common humanity and always celebrating that. We had a student initiative that we had a lot of support from the commission in getting started in using reusable trays. So that's fully up and running for all 9 grades at this point, and it's really been great. And we were able to honor Ian Loomer, who came to the commission and spoke to you at a school event where he was able to be honored in front of other parents. Our National Junior Honor Society is focusing on service this year, more so than they even do academics, and we every year kind of ramp up the expectations for their community service, so they're really committed to doing that. Our student government has been revamped a bit. We have always had a 6th through 8th student government. Our 5th grade student government is now up and running, and they're going to create counselorship positions for kindergarten through 4th grade to kind of report to them. Our green team is also working. That's something that we've changed a bit this year. They're doing a lot more area beautification around the school, taking a leadership role and making sure, ACES always looks the best it can look. And our winter chorus is up and running. We're going to start our practices soon, and we hope you guys can join us December 11th or 12th for what's going to definitely be some excellent performances. Lastly, we're planning the final touches on our conference that we do internally, where we're able to take all of the knowledge of our staff and really share it with each other. And we call it the Spark Conference because it really re-sparks everyone and gets us moving again. As the year goes on, everything kind of dies down, and this Spark Conference really ignites everybody, and we're able to apply our learning. And it's really a great way to see how much expertise exists within that one small building. So that's the report from ACES. Thank you guys for all your support. Yeah.
Thank you. Our next item is Donso for Aventura High School update from Principal McKnight.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. I have to say that before I give my report that it's moments like we just experienced here tonight that make me very proud to lead a school in this community. So thank you for everything that you do to recognize greatness in your community. It was inspiring to be a part of that and watch that. We've had instructional rounds with administrators, curriculum specialists, the area director with CSUSA today. We completed NWEA testing in math, reading, and science, and received good feedback from the team, and now we're developing our small groups to focus on student needs. We held our first open house. Approximately 120 parents followed their child's schedule and met their teachers. I had a lot of fun at the PA system, playing different bell sounds as they moved from class to class. They probably were very annoyed, but I had a great time. Parents are now voting for their 2 elected positions on the school advisory board. Those in consideration for those positions are Michael Yavner, Raquel Rothman, Heike Beck, Soshi Bogus, Michelle Leon, and Nikki Shine. Voting will close on Friday with the announcement of the 2 members selected on Monday. Parents have signed up for parent-teacher committees, and we are now beginning to communicate with them regarding their responsibilities with the committees they selected. We had Student Government Association elections recently, and the president is sitting right here in this very room, Ms. Taryn Shine. So we're great that she's going to drive our Student Government Association. Vice President is Sophia Edelberg. Secretary is Roxana Kay. Treasurer is Amelia Ray Garacoa. And Parliamentarian is Goldie Silverman. They have had their first meeting, and senators have also been elected for each of the homeroom classes. We decided to sell chocolate for our fall fundraiser. Ellen Elias, our AP Human Geo teacher, is heading this committee up with the parents. I attended the grand opening of the Banesco Bank, and tomorrow I will be visiting Mediska, a pharmaceutical company, to continue to expand our community partnerships within this great city. We continue to be gratified by all of the community support that we've received as a high school. We are now gearing up for our grand opening ceremony on October 15th and are extremely excited to share this beautiful building and educational promise with the rest of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Weinberg.
I just wanted to note that Principal McKnight, you were smart enough not to leave a bank opening empty-handed, so I think we can publicly thank them for they made a contribution to our school.
And I think we have written them a letter of thanks, correct? Yes.
That's great.
And certainly publicly
And
it's
count
due
me
as
in
well.
on as in favor of any chocolate fundraisers.
I think you have good people to sell to right up here, David. Taryn, as the newly elected president of the student government of the school, you don't have to at all. Would you like to come up and say a few words to us? You can pass. Okay, that's perfectly all right. But next time we would like to hear a few words from you. Is that all right? Okay, great. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Have any items been pulled from the consent agenda? Okay. Then I'm going to ask for a motion of approval of the items in the consent agenda.
Motion.
Made by Commissioner Narotsky, seconded by Commissioner Shelley. Any discussion? I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Dr. Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Mizrahi,
Yes.
Commissioner Narotsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley.
Yes.
Commissioner Weinberg,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landman,
Yes.
and Mayor Weissman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. That brings us to our zoning hearings and our quasi-judicial public hearing. I'm going to request the city attorney to read the procedures for the quasi-judicial hearing.
Thank you, Mayor. We have one item tonight in this quasi-judicial portion of the agenda. Any persons who desire to present testimony or other evidence on this matter will be asked to be sworn in by the city clerk. And the City Commission follows the quasi-judicial procedures of the city as set forth in the Item 6 introduction, which is incorporated into the record. And at this time, the mayor may ask the city clerk to administer the oath to any persons who desire to offer testimony on item number 6, following which I will read the title of that resolution.
Okay. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address this item? All right, I still think you have to be sworn in.
Yes, correct, Mayor.
I
So-
need you to raise your right hand and be sworn in at this time. If you'll be testifying on this item, you need to stand up, raise your right hand, and be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, granting conditional use approval to allow the sale and service of alcoholic beverages at an indoor cocktail bar lounge area within Bar Taco Restaurant located in Suite 104 at 2906 Northeast 207th Street, City of Aventura, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Can I have a motion for approval of this resolution made by Commissioner Shelley, seconded by Commissioner Mizrahi? I'm going to request that the Community Development Director, Joanne Carr, please present the staff report to us.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been sworn in. I would like to enter the staff report into the record. The applicant, Bar Taco Aventura LLC, is requesting conditional use approval to sell and serve alcoholic beverages at an indoor cocktail lounge bar area within its restaurant located at 2906 Northeast 207th Street, Suite 104, City of Aventura, notwithstanding the distance and spacing requirements of Section 4.2A and B of the City Code. Staff is recommending approval of the application with conditions. And here's our location plan. The restaurant is located in the Aventura Park Square mixed-use development. This is Biscayne Boulevard at Northeast 207th and 30th Avenue. And I have an aerial as well, so you can see. This is the Park Square development, Northeast 207th, Northeast 30th Avenue. This is the Aloft Hotel. It has ground floor retail spaces and commercial spaces. Bar Taco is located in the corner here. It's on the ground floor, it has 2,710 square feet of floor area with 2,132 square feet indoors and 578 square feet on an outdoor patio. There are 95 seats at tables indoors and 29 seats at the proposed bar for a total of 124 seats. This is the layout of the restaurant itself. This is the main street through the mixed-use development. This is the outdoor patio. The entrance to the restaurant is here. Tables along the side and here. And this is in yellow highlight is the bar area. Sections of 4.2A and B of the City Code requires that unless approved as a conditional use, no premises shall be used for the sale of alcoholic beverages unless it is located at least 1,500 feet from a non-exempt place of business with an existing liquor license and at least 2,500 feet from a religious facility or school. The City Code provides an exemption from these distances for restaurants, and cocktail bars within restaurants are also exempt if the restaurant has at least 4,000 square feet of floor area and 200 or more seats. Bar Taco does not meet the minimum floor area or the number of seats for this exemption, and therefore conditional use approval is required. The applicant has provided a liquor survey showing all establishments within 1,500 feet and all religious facilities and schools within 2,500 feet. There is one non-exempt establishment within 1,500 feet and 3 religious facilities and schools within that 2,500 feet. Staff has analyzed the application using the criteria for approval of conditional uses in Section 3173C of the City Code and finds that the application does meet those criteria. The following conditions are recommended with this approval. The first is that the approval is granted exclusively to Bar Taco Aventura LLC in Suite 104, 2906 Northeast 207th Street in the Aventura Park Square development and may not be transferred to another owner or operator of the restaurant or to another location. Second condition is that alcoholic beverages shall be sold and served only in conjunction with the service of food within the restaurant. This does not preclude service of an alcoholic beverage only without food, as long as the establishment complies with the food and beverage revenue percentages required by the state liquor license. The kitchen shall be open and food shall be available for service at all times when alcoholic beverages are being sold and served. Customers will not be permitted to remove an individual glass of alcoholic beverage or any open container from the restaurant. The applicant shall obtain an alcoholic beverage license from the state of Florida and begin sale and service of alcoholic beverages within 12 months of the date of the resolution, or the approvals granted shall be deemed null and void unless extended by a motion of the City Commission at the written request of the applicant, provided that that request is filed within the original 12-month period. The applicant shall comply with the hours of operation allowed to bars and cocktail lounges for sale of alcoholic beverages for consumption on premises pursuant to Section 4.3D of the City Code, and those hours are 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. the following day. The applicant shall conduct responsible vendor training pursuant to Florida statute to ensure that no sales are made to underage customers or to customers who may have been overserved at other establishments. The conditional use approval shall be terminated in the event the city manager determines that the approval has creating or is creating a disturbance to the community. The applicant agrees to immediately discontinue sale and service of alcoholic beverages upon written notice to the applicant of such a determination. And the final condition is that any discontinuation of the sale and service of alcoholic beverages for a period of 180 consecutive days shall constitute abandonment and rescind this approval. I'll be happy to answer any question. I also have some renderings of the restaurant. This is the outdoors. This is the view along the main street. This is the patio area that is screened by landscaping. The restaurant is open now. They just opened without the seats at the bar pending approval. This is the indoor tables along the out, and this is the bar area. And that is the outdoor patio area. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right, let me ask if the applicant has any comments? No? You've already been sworn in, but just state your name.
I'm Valerie Haber with the law firm of Gray Robinson with offices at 333 Southeast 2nd Avenue. Thank you for having me here tonight. And I just wanted to thank your professional staff for doing such a thorough presentation and review of the application. It's really been a pleasure working with Ms. Carr. And I don't want to take up too much of your time tonight. We're here to answer any questions you may have. And I also have with me the regional manager, Javier Gonzalez, in case you have any operational questions for him. And otherwise, I'm here for any questions you may have.
Okay, do any members of the commission have any questions or comments? No? Okay, then I'm going to open the item for public comment. Does anyone in the public want to comment on this item? All right, I'm going to close the item for public comment, and I'm going to ask the clerk for a roll call vote.
Commissioner Dr. Marks?
Yes.
Commissioner Mizrahi?
Yes.
Commissioner Narodsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Shelley? Yes. Commissioner Weinberg?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landman?
Yes.
And Mayor Weissman?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. You know, in our consent agenda, we passed the item that approved the members of our youth advisory panel for this year, and a number of those members are here, and I should have recognized them at that point in time, but as long as they're still here, I would like Carolina Wesley to come up, Taryn Shine again, Kenneth Kula, Ariel Jacobs, and if there's anybody I missed, don't be shy. Come down now and tell us what your name is. Yeah, I don't know her. Can you tell me what your name is? Lori? Chloe Fritos. Okay. If each of you could just go to the mic for a second, tell us what high school you go to, and maybe one sentence about yourself. That's it. Come on, Carolina, be the risk taker that I know you are.
Hi, my name is Kenneth Kula. I go to Dr. Michael Kropp Senior High School. I am overjoyed that I was accepted to be in this position. And after seeing this presentation that just happened with, in the beginning, I am just all the more confident in the ability for this community to be a great choice to apply for.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenneth.
Hi, how are you? My name is Carolina Wesley. I go to Mass at FIU. I'm in 10th grade, and again, I'm great honor to be here. I've spent the past 3 years in contact with you guys, and I enjoy every moment I have that I speak to you guys. I feel very important in this role, very honored to be in this role, and I enjoy having a community with you guys and building it up with you guys because, again, it's very important, and I appreciate for everything you guys do for us and for the entire community, so thank you so much, and thank you for this pleasure of being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina. Chloe?
Hi, I'm Chloe Freitas, and before starting and before being on the Youth Advisory Board last year, I represented Aventura Waterways here a couple of times, but after, actually becoming a part of the board and seeing the direct impact we can have in all of the volunteer opportunities and seeing all of the, children and the kids and adults in our community, it really changed me for the better. And when I heard that we would have the opportunity to renew, I go to Mass at FIU. When I heard that we had the opportunity to apply again, I was extremely excited and was just overjoyed and filled with pride that I got called to come back, and I'm just super excited to see what we do this year. And I don't know how we can top last year because we did a lot. So I just want to see what we come up with as a board, and I'm super thankful for this opportunity.
Thank you. Next, Taryn.
Taryn Shane, I'm a freshman at Don Sofer Aventura High School, and I just want to say it's an honor to be able to be on the board, and I'm excited to see what we can do in the future for Aventura.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Ariel Jacobs. I'm a junior at Massachusetts FIU, and I'm not the best with words, so apologies in advance. I'm very excited to be a part of this. Ever since I heard about it last year, I just knew this is somewhere I wanted to be, and hopefully I can make some sort of change while I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone from the commission have anything you want to ask or say?
We need a round
Commissioner
of applause.
Mizrahi?
I just want to say that last year it was a delight to work with most of you that were last year, and I look forward to working with you again, all of you. Thank you.
Commissioner Dr. Linda Marks?
I just want to applaud all of you because we're thrilled to have you and we know you're going to do great things. So thank you for helping us.
Commissioner Weinberg?
I just want to note that there's 3 excellent public high schools represented by these students. I mean, it's such a wonderful thing that we have choices, which is something we all wanted and worked hard for. And it's so terrific because all of these are great choices, and you can't go wrong, and we're extraordinarily fortunate.
Commissioner Landman?
Just like you thanked us, I want to thank you for, I know you probably have busy schedules with your AP courses and everything else that you're doing, student government president and all of that, but thank you for finding the time to, be a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing all of the great things you will accomplish.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you so very much. We have no ordinances for first public reading, and we have no ordinances for second public reading. We also have no resolutions. So that brings me to reports. Do any members of the commission have anything they want to report on? Commissioner Landman.
So for anyone watching or listening, 2 of my favorite events are coming up in the month of October. This October 6th, this weekend, we have our community bike event with our police department at 9 a.m. Founders Park. If you haven't been a part of it, it's an amazing event. Hundreds of people come out to ride bikes with our police department. It's a great way to get to know our police officers and to just really be a part of this community. And then on October 26th, we have our Halloween event and movie night. Another one of my favorite events. Families go out to Founders Park dressed up in costumes. There are different activities for different age groups, and then the movie night ends with Aladdin. So there will be food trucks, there will be activities. You can bring your blankets, your chairs. So I hope everyone considers attending these 2 great events. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any reports? Commissioner Dr. Linda Marks.
First of all, I want to congratulate the chief. I happened to inadvertently fall upon Starbucks while all of the police officers were in there, and the community was extremely engaged with talking to the police officers, and it was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity just to get to know people on a very different level. So thank you for being involved and for doing those kinds of things. Also, the ACES Peace Day was delightful. The kids did an amazing job of preparing presentations, and it was heartening to see how many children were inducted into the National Junior Honor Society. So we're very proud of our kids at ACES. I do want to mention, Ron, I believe you're going to get some notice out about Veterans Day, and we're asking for any of our residents to go ahead and to let us know if any of your family members served in the military in any capacity. So we're doing that. And last, we have a date for a liaison meeting. I don't know if the commission received that information yet, but the date is October 24th, and at that time we will be reviewing and making plans for the next year for phase 2 of our new high school and looking at what the high school will look like for sophomores next year.
What time is the meeting, Dr. Marks?
Mr. Wasson chose 9 a.m. I asked for 10, but it's 9.
So the meeting is at 10?
9. 9
a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor,
Commissioner
I have
Mizrahi.
something else. I heard from some of the synagogues, and I want to thank the chief of police They were all very thankful for the support that they had during this weekend and throughout the rest of the month. So thank you on behalf.
I have to echo your sentiments. I think we're the luckiest commission, and I'm the luckiest mayor to have a police department that when we go out into the community, whether it's the rabbis or the store owners, they can't compliment your department enough, and it starts with leadership. So I thank you. Okay, any other reports? Once, twice, three times. Okay, now I'm going to open this meeting for public comment. I'm going to request the city attorney to review the purpose of this item.
Thank you, Mayor. In accordance with the procedures of the City Commission, this is the portion of the meeting where the City Commission invites and listens to any comments from the public. However, also in accordance with the procedures, the commissioners do not respond or ask questions in reference to those public comments. Instead, if there's any necessary follow-up action, the city manager will subsequently handle the matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody wish to address the commission? Come on. Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Ludwika Konik, resident of Aventura for 29 years, Point East. Beautiful community. First of all, I want to thank you, Commission and Mayor, for a wonderful job in Aventura. We see changes in Point East since we became Aventura. Thank you very much. With that all good, we always have some problems. Our latest problem is with the dry cleaner who are just across our building, and the compressor got broken. It's for already 4 months. We hear the noise from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. I send a letter. We put the complaints. Our board addressed the issue. For some reason, we have a problem. So if City of Aventura can help us with that, we would be very grateful as a seniors of community. And I have another issue of education for community. The schools, the education for young people in Aventura is beautiful. Myself, I am college professor, and I appreciate that. But many times I think what we're doing for seniors. And I believe that would be nice if we can come up with some programs for seniors. Actually, today, with my neighbor, we went to library because they were supposed to start 10 weeks course for aging people. Unfortunately, we learned the class is canceled because Dade County refused donate money. We can pay, but I believe that we need to have some programs for the adult and the elderly community. So please try to help us. That's all what I want to say tonight.
Okay.
I'm a little bit anxious because that's the first time. Second time will be easier. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and my understanding is the city manager will be meeting with you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else from the community? If there is no other business, I will entertain a motion for adjournment made by Dr. Marks, seconded by Vice Mayor Landman. This meeting is adjourned.